As a ministry, we went to Dubai, we went to Saudi Arabia, we went to Kuwait, and we really found there's a bigger market. We asked them, do you want the goats from Baringo to reach Dubai? And they told us they like our meat, but right now, even though this meat goes to Dubai, it brings in little money because we don't have a vaccination certificate. So they told us, if you go and vaccinate your livestock, goats and sheep, we can buy your meat at a good price. And we asked them, why is the price high? Like now, during an auction, we are buying these goats. I heard Engineer Sudi say 15,000, but if you come with a vaccination certificate, you buy for 17,000. You get another 3,000 or two in your pocket because you have vaccinated and your meat is of high quality. President, I have heard people asking where these vaccines are coming from. Some say it comes from America. Others say it comes from Bill Gates. The president here has brought this PPR vaccine. It is made by Kevevapi. Kevevapi is the Kenya Veterinary Vaccines Production Institute. It is a government company in the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock. It is located in Embakasi, and their other factory is in Kabete. The vaccines are being manufactured by Kenyan scientists. So this talk about it coming from Bill Gates and something about injecting our cows so they stop farting, I want to say that's all nonsense.
Cows and other grass-eating species have a digestion system that emits methane, and methane is a very powerful greenhouse gas. And so cows alone account for about 6% of global emissions. And so we need to change cows, just cows alone.
How are we going to do that?
Well, actually, of all the categories, the one that has gone better than I would have expected 5 years ago is this work to make what's called artificial meat. And so you have people like Impossible or Beyond Meat, both of which I invested in.
You eat it as well, and you like it?
Absolutely. You can go to Burger King and buy the Impossible Burger.
All right. Is it healthier for you or just healthier for the atmosphere?
It's slightly healthier for you in terms of less cholesterol. It's, of course, dramatic reduction in methane emissions, animal cruelty, manure management, and the pressure that meat consumption puts on land use. You know, the main reason why we need to increase agricultural output over the rest of this century is not the population increase. It's that as countries get richer, they eat more meat, and meat is a very inefficient way of creating calories. And so it's super helpful.
Once you vaccinate these animals, and these animals feed human beings meat, milk is affected. These vaccines are actually mRNA vaccines that they're injecting in the animals. Once you inject an mRNA, it doesn't die. It goes to the milk, it goes to the meat. So in turn, you're vaccinating the human beings through the kind of foods that they are consuming. If WHO is going to roll out a vaccine, but they've gotten 80% of funding on that project by the company that actually manufactures that vaccine, what does that tell you? Conflict of interest. This WHO that we trust is actually killing human beings in the name of health. The biggest scam in humanity was the COVID vaccine. Many people are not able to connect the dots, but you can connect these dots. You can connect the agriculture bills, the GMO, you can the vaccine, you can actually connect them to one person. Bill Gates is the one single owner of most GMO patents. So when we talk about GMO, it is him and his foundation.
Why is Bill Gates always so interested in Africa and Africa matters?
He's a psychopath. I'll just tell you. He's a representation of the globalists, the people, the proponents of the New World Order, that are so engrossed in ruling the world. They are so engrossed in controlling humanity that feel they are actually gods in their own space.
So yeah, Sherelle, with all the distractions, it's important that we don't lose sight of the war that is being waged against our father's land and against his people. And this war is waged on many fronts. In military terms, it would be called asymmetrical warfare. And that would mean attacking from so many sides that one is unable to keep up. Let's remember what Dawood said in Tahalim 83, verses 2 to 5. It says, "For look, your enemies make an uproar, and those hating you have lifted up their head. They craftily plot against your people and conspire against your treasured ones. They have said, Come, and let us wipe them out as a nation, and let the name of YahUah be remembered no more, for they have conspired together with one heart. Now this man here that was sent out is sent out to lie to the farmers as they say no to the vaccination of their animals. So let's take a look at the truth and how he lies with his straight face. Now, the question is Bill Gates involved or have a hand in the vaccination affair? The short and long answer is yes. He said that the vaccine was produced by Kevivapi, also known, or the acronym for, the Kenya Veterinary Vaccination Production Institute. Now, Kevivapi is 70% funded by the Wellcome Trust Foundation of the UK. This is accomplished by them setting up the Wellcome Trust of Kenya. Now, where does Bill Gates come in? Bill Gates is a senior trustee of the Wellcome Trust of the UK and is one of the major donors to the trust, though the trust does have an extensive investment portfolio of around, I think, $37 billion. So in essence, these vaccines are what you would call RNA vaccines for animals. And this equates to the vaccination of a person by food. However, it is important to note that these are not vaccines, but they're rather delivery mechanisms of, they're rather delivery mechanisms of what you can call a created messenger system carrying specific genetic coding or information to the cells of the animal. Now, currently there's testing of mRNA or RNA vaccines for livestock to be carried out in South Africa for so-called Rift Valley fever. However, if the past and not so distant past is an example, the delivery of vaccines in the context of sub-Saharan Africa are not to be believed. So it's important that the farmers and everyone be aware and be diligent of what is happening. This is classic asymmetrical warfare, and a lot of the chaos that is going on around us, some of it is what is supposed to happen, but some of it is also trying to use, I guess you can say, there's opportunity in crisis to continue to come at us asymmetrical warfare against the Most High's people and against His land in so many ways that we cannot keep up. But we have to slow down, we have to step back, and we have to arm ourselves with knowledge, because there is no reason for this. The Most High created everything perfect, set things in perfect array to function within the context and places where they place them. The animals in their place and what it is they need to do, which they instinctively know to live and to function. So there's no need to vaccinate an animal, whether it's a goat, a sheep, an ox, whatever it is. There's no need for it. There's always something behind it that is insidious. And more so, the fact that these people are constantly focused upon the Most High's land, upon those inhabiting the land, and upon His people with these things, should be a red flag that we must be aware. We should not let our memories be short. If we look back even through this so-called COVID-19 and the vaccines that were given, the evidence now shows all that was spoken, that not only were the vaccines not, many of them did not even prevent the disease. All the evidence is shown in public now that they've caused great harm and is taking the lives of people. And who were those people that were mainly targeted for these vaccines? Once again, it is the people of Al-Kabilon and YahUah's people scattered throughout the four corners. So we need to be diligent, we need to be aware, we need to understand what is going on. We must fight. The question I always ask, is it worth fighting for, and do we belong in the fight? Yes, we do. Scripture speaks to this. Scripture tells us that we are a part of this fight. We fight the fight by one, turning back to the Most High, keeping his statutes and his commandments. But we see also that when we went into the land, when the children of the fallen were in our land, when those that encroach and the wicked were in our land, when we crossed over into the land, that we had to fight. And so everything will repeat itself in the same way. So let's prepare ourselves and let's do what we need to do. Let's understand our enemy. Let's know our enemy. Let's know what they think, what they do, and be able to work out and be aware of what our actions need to be. So I say, arise, YahUah's, arise. And let us prepare ourselves as we prepare for the Most High to return us and gather us unto our land and unto himself, for that remnant that we go forward first, and that remnant which is to come. But remember the warning, that though YahUah was as numerous as the sands of the sea, only a remnant shall come out. Don't be in those that shall not come out. Selah.